There was once a young eagle. Strong wings, sharp eyes, born to rule the skies. But he never flew alone. He always looked for company, always searched for a crowd, because he believed flying together made him stronger. But one day, he learned the hardest truth of his life. Not everyone who flies with you wants you to soar. This young eagle lived on a high mountain cliff. Every morning he would wake up early, stretch his wings, and take off into the sky. But he never felt complete. He always felt lonely. So he started flying with other birds, crows, pigeons, sparrows. They flew in groups, they chirped together, they rested together. And for a while, the eagle felt happy. He thought, "This is what I needed. I'm not alone anymore." But something strange started happening. The higher he wanted to fly, the more they pulled him down. "Why do you want to go so high?" the crows would ask. "Stay with us, it's safer here," the pigeons would say. "You're showing off," the sparrows would whisper. And slowly, the eagle stopped climbing. He stopped testing his limits. He stopped being an eagle. Days turned into weeks. The eagle's wings grew heavy. His vision became dull. He flew lower and lower until one day he was walking on the ground more than flying in the sky. He started eating scraps, leftover food, crumbs, just like the others. He even forgot what it felt like to hunt. One evening, an old eagle landed near him. The young eagle looked up and said, "Who are you?" The old eagle stared at him for a long moment. Then he said, "I should be asking you that question." The young eagle didn't understand. The old eagle continued, "You have the wings of a king, but you walk like a beggar. You have the eyes of a hunter, but you eat like a scavenger. Tell me, who are you?" The young eagle looked down. I don't know anymore." The old eagle nodded slowly. "You lost yourself the moment you started flying with those who were never meant to fly with you." The old eagle took off into the sky. He flew high, higher than the young eagle had ever seen anyone fly. The crows couldn't follow. The pigeons couldn't breathe. The sparrows couldn't even see him anymore. And then the old eagle stopped. He hovered in the air, alone, powerful, free. He looked down and called out, "If you want to fly like an eagle, you must be willing to fly alone." The young eagle felt something stir inside him, a memory, a forgotten feeling. He looked at the birds around him. They were comfortable, safe, average. But he wasn't born to be average. He spread his wings. The crows laughed. "Where are you going? You'll come back." The pigeons mocked. "You think you're better than us?" The sparrows whispered, "He'll fail, just watch." But the young eagle didn't listen. He took off, slow at first, then faster, then higher. His wings remembered their strength. His eyes remembered their sharpness. And for the first time in months, he felt alive again. He flew past the clouds, past the noise, past the opinions, past the fear. And when he finally stopped, he was alone, but he didn't feel lonely anymore. He felt free. He looked down at the birds below. They were still flying in circles, still staying low, still playing it safe. And he realized something. They weren't holding him back because they were bad. They were holding him back because they were living their truth, and he was trying to live theirs. Crows are meant to scavenge. Pigeons are meant to stay in the city. Sparrows are meant to fly low. But eagles? Eagles are meant to soar. Alone, above, against the wind. Not because they hate others, but because their nature demands it. The young eagle learned something that day, something most people never learn. You can't grow if you're afraid to outgrow people. You can't rise if you're worried about leaving others behind. You can't become who you're meant to be if you keep shrinking to fit where you don't belong. Eagles don't fly in flocks, not because they're proud, but because the heights they're called to reach require focus, discipline, and sacrifice. And most people aren't willing to pay that price. So they mock you, they question you, they call you arrogant. But deep down, they know you were never meant to stay with them. The young eagle never flew with the crowd again. He flew alone. He hunted alone. He built his strength alone. And one day when he looked down from the highest peak, he saw other young eagles walking on the ground, surrounded by birds that didn't belong to them. And he understood. His loneliness was his becoming. His solitude was his strength. His silence was his power. Because the sky doesn't need permission, and neither do you.